Hello again, everybody. This is going to be John League number 27, and very similar list to John League's 24 through 26. Still playing Tireless Tracker and still playing 2 Cling to Dust. The main difference between this league and the last John League is that I have removed Second's Kolagon's command to be replaced by the 4th copy of Liliana of the Veil. I talked about wanting to do this in the past. I think Liliana of the Veil is at some of its best performance that it's been in a long while, and I've had this Kolagon's command, or the 2nd copy of Kolagon's command, be kind of underwhelming, so I made that swap. Still playing 2 Terminates in the flex spot removals area, and then still playing 1 Scavenging Ooze and 1 less Blood Braid than normal. So let's take a look at the current metagame. We have actually seen some kind of significant shifts over the past couple days. Pile is still in first, that hasn't changed. But what has changed is we've got Luris Aggro sneaking up from its solid 5th to 8th slots, all the way up to 2nd, pushing down Blitz to 4th. Gruul's still in 3rd, but Blitz now at 4th. We've even got our hero Jun sneaking into the top 8, now at number 7. And Dredge still in its 9 through 12th spot. Regular Tron, happy to see that getting pushed down, joined by Devoted Devastation and Niv to Light. Burn also was previously in the 4th slot, I believe, and that got pushed down by Luris Aggro all the way down to 5. And then Jun moved past both Tron variants, which I'm pretty happy about. And let's see if we can move it up another slot by jumping into a league. Oh, and I guess another thing I should add is I took out the pillage from the sideboard and I added 3rd Ashiok. I found myself bringing in Ashiok a lot, especially versus piles, so I made that swap too. They reveal a Yorion. We've got every copy of Ren and 6 in the hand. Even though they revealed Yorion, I think it'll end up being good. At least one will end up being good. Blood Braid, an excellent pickup. So this can get Blood Crypt, which means we can then play Forest and cast Ren and 6. Then if this gets countered, it's okay. We got plenty where that came from. Tracker, another amazing pickup. Happy to have things like Blood Braid and Tracker versus the Yorion pile. Right, yeah, plenty where that came from. We're okay with Narset. Spreading Seas, that's on the more annoying side. We've got pretty much as many fetches as we want though, so that's good. Narset not super common, so not entirely sure what the opponent's playing. So Fairy's gonna make this Blood Braid pretty awkward. May have to take a turn off to pull set. I can use that N6 to finish off the Narset. It kind of messes around with my Tireless Tracker. Maybe they're missing a land and they just really want to hit it. I went bottom, bottom. Yeah, they were missing a land, and they missed. Liliana is excellent. So we have a lot of really good options here. Bloodbraid's going to get pretty awkward if they Teferi me, so maybe it's just a good turn to do that. Alternatively, Liliana is a great source of pressure. I like getting the Narset off the table so the tracker can start doing work. But I'm not going to get any basics here because they're probably a Path to Exile deck on top of having Field of Ruins. Usually I like saving the Bloodbraids for turns where they could have counter magic, but the presence of their Teferi makes that a little bit more awkward. So not bad so far. Opponent stumbling on lands, obviously a help. Alright, so Jeskai Yorion looks like a Boyle matchup. Don't know that they're playing Field of the Dead. They're not playing Uro as far as I know, so it's a safe bet they're not. Not sure if the Ashiaks are going to be good. I'm going to put him there for now. This doesn't look like a Terminate matchup. Doesn't really look like much of a Fatal Push matchup. I like the Bolts for at least finishing walkers, but they are on the weak side. I think if I'm bringing in Brutalities to hit stuff like Cryptic Command and Factor Fiction, Inquisition gets weaker just because I don't want to overboard. Don't think I'm going to play the third Ashiok. Not even certain that these spell bombs are going to be good, but it's kind of safe to bring them in. Maybe I can like trim a bolt. I think having a couple is fine. Maybe I just don't want the Kolaghan's command. I could see trimming a Goy if this is likely to be an attrition war, not necessarily clock based. Maybe let's just like take out one spell bomb. We don't know that it's going to be good, but I like having access to one. We've got other graveyard hate in the form of Scavenging Ooze and Cling to Dust. I'm actually kind of inclined to play this spell bomb over like a third Brutality, but Brutality is good for getting Cryptic. Yeah, let's play the Brutality over the spell bomb. I've convinced myself. Yeah, this one's a keeper. So gonna go Verdant first and not sack it because they could Spreading Seize it. Bloodbraid a nice pickup. I think hitting a third land here is going to be real important, so I may Cling to Dust to land. Jeskai Triome, yep. I think I will just hit the land. Bloodbraids are welcome, but we do need lands. This is a more mana efficient to play, I guess. Alright, well they get to Teferi us. So maybe Inquisition would have been better for that reason. You know, if I can find in Black Source and play this Liliana, that could be really good. That's what I'm going to try to do. Black Source, please. The last Blood Braid. Not great. Come on, land. One of those games. Bottom with it at least. That would be a really good time to hit it. Kinda. Assuming it resolves. We know 3 of their 4. 3 of their 5, actually. This gets the mana leak on top. Brutal. Yeah, I needed to hit a land very clearly. Not really gonna beat this Teferi now that our lands. Disappointing. So I could play Fetch Land in hopes of drawing Wrenn and 6. If I play Swamp, I can't Wrenn and 6 on 2, but I've got a Glyph to play anyway. So I think I'm okay just going with Swamp. I want a Lily. I want some kind of Planeswalker to stick on my 3rd turn. So I think Force is actually the most annoying thing the opponent can do. Despite it being something that would multi for 1, I want my Planeswalkers to get through. We have 2 on the bottom, so that's a good sign. So I think I'm going to Stomping Ground here. Play Tarmogoyf. Getting some pressure down early feels nice. I still don't think this is going to be a damage-oriented game, but I mean, having it is nice. Alright, and we're going to get to play our Liliana here. It's possible the Ashiok is actually just better because it'll turn off their fetch lands, which may be what they end up drawing. So let's lead on that. It just resolves. Sweet. So we've got sorcery, land. The odds that my Goyf grows by targeting myself are on the high side. Milling them isn't exactly a strategy. Just because they got 80 cards in their deck. I think I'm just going to attack for 3 and not activate. Reason being is I want to actually have an activation to use, and I don't want my Ashiok getting bolted. Which means I don't want it to get to 3 loyalty if I can avoid it. And if I activate it now and then I want to activate it again later, I won't be able to. Top and bottom with it. Alright, well I'm gonna try to stick the Liliana here. If they've got a Force of Negation, it'll be unfortunate. Alright, it just resolves. Nice. Alright, let's get their Snapcaster out of the way, which will add a creature. We can get in for 4. Given that we're not playing anything like Kroxa or many Kolaghan's commands, not really a use to having my graveyard super full. Alright, main phasing this is probably a good sign. But they did scry 1 to the top off of last turn's Serum Visions. So they must like at least one thing in their hand. I would assume they've already got a land to play. They tapped a Glacial Fortress, so I guess they don't have Path to Exile currently. They went bottom again off the Omen. They just didn't keep a land on top? Interesting. Alright, so let's just get Overgrown Tomb. I want a green source here. Don't want to get a basic. Bolt, not bad. Alright, so let's lead on a plus. I'll discard a Blood Crypt. Peatland is a better land for us to keep, and then obviously not going to discard a spell. And then I could just sack Peatland now. If I draw another threat, there's a chance I want to play it. Yeah, let's go for it. Running 6. I will play that now. Sure, pitching a leak. Annoying. So we can bolt the Teferi and then just play Tarmogoyf in the land. We've got Planeswalker, land, sorcery. I think we're at the point where the graveyard is full enough where I want to activate it. Don't think the target particularly matters yet. And then I'm going to want this Teferi gone for sure, so I think I should just lead with it. I can exile that too. There goes our boil. Darn. Okay, well they've got to unsummon our Goyf or they risk dying. So the opponent could still be playing Mana Leak, so I'm pretty sure I should play a land first. Our Blood Crypt is gone, and that's it. So we can get Overgrown Tomb or basic Swamp. Let's play the land, play Tarmogoyf. Really gonna need this to stick. They went top. Alright, so that's pretty scary. So they must have found the answer to the Goyf. That counts. Alright, well their fetch will let them shuffle, but it won't get a land. It's a redraw. Drawing way too many lands here, unfortunately. And obviously I have to play the land there so I could play around a Mana Leak. Alright, well normally that would be good, but they've got a Teferi in play. I guess I can lead on Ashiok if they've got a counterspell. It's unfortunate, but I can then maybe go after the Jace. Alright, and I think I should use the Ashiok now so they can't Snapcaster and get value. Another Jace off the top. Alright, so this is going to cascade, but not actually be castable. I'm just going to really hope that this is enough to take down the Jace. Would have hit a Goyf. bottom, bottom. Alright, that'll be a concession. I'm on no outs pretty much after that. So the opponent played pretty frivolously in the first game and ended up missing lands. And then we just did not compete in the second game, and then the third game we just kind of flooded on top of the opponent. Drawn pretty well, unfortunate. Don't know if there's anything that I could have done differently in that third game. They just kind of had the answers at every corner. Don't know that I was even beating the Yorion there at the end of that last game there. Also knowing that I turned 3 the Ashiok and then none of their lands were fetches. Just a little unlucky. Needs a green source, but it's really hard to mulligan a hand with castables. Affinity again? It could be Lantern. Would have been really nice to be able to kill their food so the Glimmer Void would die. Not entirely sure what this is yet. I would still think it's Lantern, but they don't usually play Goose. Interesting pick. I mean, I guess it's the one card I can cast. Really want to play this game. Yeah, it really looks like Lantern. Alright. Well, Renin 6 is named, so I guess I'm playing Tarmogoyf. Yeah, black-green with Ancient Stirrings. It's got to be Lantern. There's the bridge. And there's a Kolaghan's Command. That's really good. Alright, so let's just kill the bridge and have him discard. I could get back Bloodbraid. Yeah, I think I want to do that. pretty good draw. There's only one on the deck. So that can get another bridge. Alright, well luckily Bloodbraid casts from exile. So if this hits a burn spell, we'll win. Alright, well I don't... That hits actual nothing. I could have Inquisitions targeting myself to discard the Ren and 6 that does nothing, and then we put the opponent to 1, turning off their fetch lands. I mean, their Inventor's Fair is going to be gaining them 1 a turn. Alright, so they can Inventor's Fair, but they don't have mana to cast whatever it is they're gonna get. So we escape with it. Nice. Alright, so Lantern Control. Gonna want Ashiok. Gonna want Klothys. Gonna want Nile Spellbomb. I can Alpine Moon to stop searching. Don't think I want any of this other stuff. So the question is, do I want the Alpine Moons? I can name Inventor's Fair, and I can name the thing that puts artifacts back on top. Not a Terminate matchup, not a Fatal Push matchup. They might be playing Spellskite, but I'll still have answers to it. I guess my life total really doesn't matter. I should probably just take out an Inquisition, not risk my Thoughtseize not hitting something. So now it's, do I want my Alpine Moons over some of this other stuff? I don't think so. All these cards seem really good versus the opponent. Maybe I should be taking a land out, but don't think I want to. Casting my spells on time still seems really important. This hand's not great, but I think it's a keep. I guess there goes our Thoughtseize. Tracker, not a bad one. Don't see myself casting this Cling here, so I'll just pass with it down. I'm probably going to want to save this for a future turn when they could have a thing to get back from their yard. Pretty bad all around for us. So this Inquisition is going to take our tracker. I think I'm going to Cling their Inquisition end step so I can bolt the bird now. In an Inquisition, that's weird to me. Alright, so let's Cling this now so we can bolt the bird now. Then we can untap and play Tracker. I think Tracker might even be more important than this Liliana. Mountain they know about, so I'll play that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I value this Tracker more than the Liliana. They could like Pithing Needle to answer Liliana, but it's much harder to interact with the tracker. Pithing Needle doesn't actually work on naming clue, because you have to name a card and clues are tokens. I guess they could just remove it. That works too. Alright, well let's Blood Braid. I really don't want to be drawing this swamp here, so we can cascade past it. Goyf, not bad. Goyf's going to be pretty large in general. But we're drawing a Blackleaf Cliffs, that's kind of disgusting. At least they're drawing a Thoughtseize, which is kind of dead. Wow, they really don't want to draw the Thoughtseize, huh? They're going to dig to a bridge or something. So that's got to be the new card. Alright, untapped land means I get to cast my Cling to Dust. It's a good one. Really need them to not find the bridge. The bridge would bring me to a grinding halt. And they scooped. Sweet. Sounds good. We've got lots of cheap interaction and a fast and sticky threat. Just don't want to see something like Tron. This hand's not great versus Tron. Looking a lot like Grixis Shadow, though. I would expect them to take probably the Inquisition. They could take the creature if they're soft to a creature, but Inquisition's the only thing that's like kind of unique. They should have done this beforehand. Or I guess no, they're worried about me seeing the card with Inquisition. Alright, well, if they draw a fetch, they're going to get to Angler me. I've got double bolts for it, or I could just terminate it. More likely to want to just terminate. Terminate, the lightning bolts could be good for some reach damage because they are Shadow. But 2 bolts might not be able to kill a Shadow at a point, whereas Terminate will. Ooh, Liliana's great. If I play the Ravine now, I'll be able to guarantee the Liliana next turn. But that kind of tips my hand that I have something important to play, because the only two cards they don't know about are Ravine and Liliana. I'll play the Ravine for the highest upside. If they tap out for an Angler, the Liliana is just going to end the game. Because remember, like, given that they know about my Terminate, the odds I would have wanted to just play an untapped land here that they know I have are probably pretty high. They're not even going to play it. Wow. So they could have Anglered plus Stubborn Denial backup. So I'm going to assume they don't have the Stubborn Denial. I'll just go for the Liliana off of an Overgrown Tomb. If they've got the Stubborn Denial, then power to them, but I don't think they would have had it, because they almost would have definitely just Anglered and held up the Stubborn Denial to protect. And we can get rid of a Lightning Bolt here. Mulligan to 6 this game, not even that low. I'll play the land so they know my hand. Ravine might be one of the ways I want to close this game, so I like hitting the land drops instead of just holding them. This means I won't have stuff to discard the Liliana, but again, if I can have them empty-handed with the Ravine in play, it's kind of game. Let me discard a card. I'll discard a Bolt. I think I'm going to want an answer to a Shadow. So tap land is pretty much my only bad draw. Alright. So we could lose here if the opponent hits a another copy of Gurmag Angler. They could have gotten back their Gurmag Angler. They knew our hand was Bolt Push at the time they made us discard. And if I attack with a Ravine, they are forced to block with an Angler. But I don't necessarily like that spot. It is an Angler. So now do I attack with Ravine to force the... Alright, well that makes attacking with Ravine look even better. The downside to this play is what if their last card is Fatal Push? Dismember wouldn't do it. I think I'm going to just go ahead and go for it. And if their last card is Fatal Push, it'll be bad for me, but it's kind of like the best play I have. Like if I Ren in 6 here, it'll just die immediately. And then obviously Fatal Push isn't really doing a whole lot. Sweet. So now next turn I get to Ren and 6, get back Ravine, and replay the Ravine, and it's still lethal on one hit. They concede, sweet. So a bit of a sweat towards the end. In the beginning I was feeling pretty confident, but their Kolaghan's command to kill the Liliana was pretty pivotal. Really only considering the Klothys here and the 2 spell bombs. Everything else doesn't really do a lot. I'll take out an Inquisition. They're pretty bad draws in the late game. But they can act kind of like a combo deck, so I like having a good number of the hand hate. And everything else seems pretty good. I don't think I'm going to want to be burning their face a whole lot. And Lightning Bolt doesn't kill any of their creatures except for like Snapcaster or Jace Fringe Prodigy if they're playing it. I think this is just fine. Plague Engineer is a consideration just because it'll trade with pretty much anything. I mean, they can kill the Plague Engineer, like with the removal spell. But I mean, maybe I just make them do it. I could like take out another Bolt. Bolt doesn't actually kill anything for at least one Plague Engineer. Don't think I want to cut any of these things over something else for a Plague Engineer. I could cut a land while I'm on the draw for that one, but I think my 3-mana spells are so important that I really want to make sure I can hit that 3rd land on time. This is fine. And I really need another land, so... I like that I'm staying with the Inquisition. Let's just say like a Blackleaf Cliffs here. Let us get a Stomping Ground. Alright, let's Inquisition. Well, we've got a hard decision here. Alright, so fetch land from the opponent still puts them... Actually, fetch land puts them at exactly Gurmag Angler. There it is. So they can do it if they want. They know we've got Liliana, but they got Stubborn Denial for it. They're not going for it. Wow. Alright, well, I could Cling to Dust in response to them putting a card in the yard, which will put them short of Gurmag Angler again. Don't know why they didn't just cast it when they know that I don't have an answer for it for at least another turn. And then by then they could have Stubborn Denial up. Well, now it doesn't matter because they have more than enough cards. I'll let them decide what they want to keep first, and then I'll cling something else. Alright, then if I want to cling to guarantee resolve, I have to cling something now. I mean, if they're going to use a Stubborn Denial on a cling, I'm okay with that, so I'll just let it resolve and give them the option. Usually I don't want to give them options, but this option is either doesn't matter or a mistake. Alright, Terminate's an excellent one. Alright, so I could just Blackleaf Cliffs, jam Liliana, but I think I'm going to Blackleaf Cliffs, jam the Plague Engineer. They've got 2 Stubborn Denials, and this kind of holds back the Gurmag Angler as is. I'll name Human so Snapcasters immediately die. Make them go a turn with their mana unspent. It's like I'm kind of taxing them one every turn now if they want to make sure that their angler gets to live. Yeah, it's annoying. So they'll take one answer to the angler, but I've got a backup answer. Alright, I'm just going to Overgrown Tomb tapped. I'll let them go with the mana unused again, and then end of turn I can try for the Terminate. They'll counter it. So they're kind of going to have to use this entire next turn doing nothing. And I can cling an Inquisition or a Stubborn Denial in the interim. Alright, another Inquisition makes this a little on the annoying side. I mean, I guess I should just go for the Terminate now to make them use a Stubborn Denial now. Because if I let them Inquisition and they take the Terminate, they've kind of time walked me. They're going to take the Liliana here, without a doubt. This would be a good window to draw another answer. I'm going to have 2 looks at it between my draw step and this cling. Liliana would be the nuts. Fortunately not. So the plan now is just recast a cling. They're not doing anything either. We leave my creature enchantment in the yard for Tarmogoyfs. Second cling doesn't do a whole lot over the first one, so I can get rid of that too. Not good. Come on, deck. It's a redraw. Don't think it's Stubborn Denial worthy. Nice. Goyf is on the large side. Fatal Push could be something they very easily have. They'd be missing Revolt to kill the Plague Engineer. So I don't necessarily have the read that they don't have it. That makes some sense too. I guess they could have killed the Plague Engineer with that. This may unlock the shadows they've got in their hand, if they've got them. They can go down to 11, which makes 2/2s. They don't know this card's a swamp. All they know is that it doesn't take care of a Gurmag Angler. Alright, so I guess their card is not Fatal Push. Don't think Revolt is going to matter a whole lot on my side. If I hit Ravine, I'm going to want to play the Ravine, so let's do this before playing a land. Horrendously flooded again. I need Bloodbraid is what I need. Fortunately, lands are horrific. Come on, deck. I guess I should probably save that for a turn where I want to combo like a removal spell or something. I mean, Thoughtseize and this are 3 cards in the yard. I'm still short of casting a Cling. Push not bad. This might be an okay time just to cast the Thoughtseize so I can try to sneak the Fatal Push through. This will be the 3rd Stubborn Denial. 2 are already exiled. So now I am still short of recasting a Cling, only by 1 card though. Unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to get a chance to cast Cling again. Yep. Gonna need like a Bloodbraid to hit something good here. This does actually change the clock by a turn, so this fetch is probably bad, but I need something regardless. More lands, you say? That ain't gonna do it. So, I mean, the Plague Engineer looks pretty good there. It held off the opponent for a long while. Don't think I actually want the second one, though. I think I'm happy with this. I'm just gonna hope I don't flood again. Yeah, it's a keeper. Take the Inquisition. It's their only like really unique effect. And I want to protect this Liliana. Aether Gust doesn't really impact the Liliana. They can do the bobble trick on themselves to like kind of scry. I played that first because if they've drawn a Stubborn Denial, I want them to counter it instead of the Liliana. So I was kind of trying to bait them. And if they like Thought Scour themselves here, in their upkeep, I'll pop the Spell Bomb because I don't want them to be able to Angler. Like I have the Liliana for it, but I'd rather plus the Liliana and then just immediately have to minus it. Sure. Missing the lands again, though. That kind of hurts. Got another chance to hit it. Come on, land. We've got the answers for the shadows, but we're kind of loose to an angler. No guarantee a Liliana would have even resolved there. Could get Stubborn Denialed. Come on, land. So, I mean, that's going to recharge for an angler. Now, if they got it, they can cast it. Any other land means they're holding up Stubborn Denial, too. So their hand's not angler. Or at least it's not angler plus protection. You know, I've got the Ren and 6 to kill this, but it can be Aether Gusted. I'll take 2 at least once here. If they don't play something like a Shadow, I'll probably just end up pushing this. So I've got Aether Gust now. They apparently don't have another copy of Stubborn Denial. I really want this Snapcaster to die, so that the Liliana Edict actually gets the Shadow. The issue is if I cast Ren and 6, they're probably just going to Aether Gust it. To which I'll pretty much have to put it on the bottom. I'm going to go for it. If this gets countered, we can still shock in a land and then cast a Tarmogoyf. Wow, they let it stick. Alright. I'm going to kill the Snapcaster. Make my edicts better. Say yes on this. And then this will almost have to definitely put on top. And then I don't actually have a lands to recur, so I may just want to put this on the bottom so I have a chance at double spelling next turn. Let's just hope they don't have Battle Rage and a way to damage himself. Alright, please no Stubborn Denial, please no Snapcaster. Interesting timing. I haven't even edicted them yet. Oh, they're just going to counter it. That makes sense. Yikes. I mean, stumbling on these lands hurt big time. Jeez. Alright, now we need Maelstrom Pulse. Or Liliana is not going to do it. We're just dead. Bummer. This matchup should be pretty good, but we just... I don't think we drew very well. I mean, we didn't play basically 1.5 games. We had a whole game where we didn't do anything, and then we had half a game where we let the opponent catch up. Feels really bad. Blue-red Prowess. Alright, let's take a Soul Scar Mage. I've got the Bolt for the second threat. This Reveler is going to be dangerous, though. We can keep it in check with the Clings. I mean, it's possible I should have taken the Swift Spear and then just planned on killing the Soul Scar Mage, but I think it's more of a disaster if the Soul Scar Mage lives. If they draw something like Mutagenic Growth, as opposed to if the Swift Spear lives. And I think I'm going to avoid the blowout and just get basic Mountain now. And Lightning Bolt now. If they've got Mutagenic Growth, at least they're not attacking me with it. Waiting would give them an extra look at it. Another Soul Scar is really bad for me. I think I'm just going to take a redraw. Get rid of a Bolt because taking away instant and adding instant will keep Glyphs large. Third match in a row with mana issues. Guess I'll take the multi for one. So that's their 5th spell in the yard. It's their 6th spell in the yard. Which means they're going to get to Reveler next turn, unless I Cling to Dust something. Come on, land. Green source. I mean, at least they get to kill their Soul Scar. Do this first, maybe I hit a land. Nope. So if they hit a land, they're going to get to Reveler. Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to do differently other than ship a completely keepable hand. So killing us in response will prevent my Goi from getting minus counters. I'm I'm just gonna take it. I don't really want to just give them a hit with a, just like get them to kill my Goy for free. Like if they get a burn spell, then it is what it is. Yep. Well, they bottom, so at least I have that going for me. Nope. Getting really tired of having mana issues. Yeah, sounds good. Alright, so the mutagenic growth means that whatever I target with Lightning Bolt is going to get saved. I've also got Manamorphose into Stormwing Entity. I may just have to take the Manamorphose. The only weakness their hand has is that it's one land. I think I'm going to let them have the Swift Spirits. Probably either Sprite Dragon or Manamorphose. Manamorphose prevents the Stormwing. I mean, I've got the Bolt for the Stormwing, but then any spell saves it. This hand is just so obnoxiously good. I think I should take a threat because threats are what are going to kill me ultimately. So it's just which one between Swift Spear and Sprite Dragon. I guess Swift Spear makes their game plan just a little bit slower. So let's just take the 1 mana play and then hope they brick on lands, I guess. Alright, so I guess now would be not a bad time to just get our pressure down. Not really going to have a better window to do it. So Forest here, not really going to end up being awkward given that Blackleaf Cliffs lets us cast both and push next turn. So I'm just going to hope they didn't hit the land. There it is. So we know about mutagenic growth, which means this bolt doesn't get to kill the Stormwing. Now might not be a bad time to just get the tracker down and attack for 4. Issue there is if they go Sprite Dragon, Mutagenic Growth, Lava Dart, they can Lava Dart again, then Sprite Dragon's up to 4 toughness. I have to use Push to kill it. But I mean, that's kind of the case already. I can attack with Tarmogoyf. If they block and Mutagenic Growth, I can then try to push in response to Prowess. If they've got another thing, though, it's really, really bad for me. I mean, if I'm doing it now, at least that means they're not attacking with the mutagenic growths. Or they're just gonna take it. So now what I want to do, I think I'm gonna probably end up casting Wrenn and 6. It'll end up getting back just Verdant, But if I cast Renin 6, I can hold up Bolt and Push now, and the next turn I can play Tracker, and then hold up the other one. So casting Lava Dart. So now I believe I want to go for the Lightning Bolt. So Storming's coming at Renin 6, and this is coming at me. If I cast Lightning Bolt, it's going to get Mutagenic Growth. So I think I'm just going to let this happen, and then I can Lightning Bolt after damage. Doing it after damage means I'm going to take less life. We know the Bolt's not killing the thing anyway, so I'm kind of just using this Bolt as a way to get the Mutagenic Growth out of their hand. Alright, so now I think I'm going to fire off the Bolt. I am aware it's not going to work. They're going to Mutagenic Growth. So now we get the Tracker, play Verdant, fetch Swamp, Fatal Push the Sprite Dragon. There already is a creature in the yard, so this doesn't change the clock. Damn it! Oh my god, didn't play the Tracker first. I mean, I'll get one clue, but it's still unfortunate. Anyway, I can add a type. Doesn't look like it. So let's just sack a clue, see if I can find a burn spell or something. Even a Renin 6 would do it here. I sideboarded 2 of those out though. Alright, you gotta kill me here. We did it. Jeez, that was close. Still blue-red prowess. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna change anything. I want the Ooze to mess with their Bedlam Revelers, same with the Spell Bomb, same with the Clings. I want all the cheap removal. Want some of the cheap interaction that doesn't lose me life. Still not super excited about the Run and 6, but it has its moments. Yep. Another Goyf, not bad. So just how do I want to go about fatal pushing this? I guess I should shock the Blood Crypt. Let's let them make their decision before we kill their thing. Definitely want to stop stuff like light up the stage. That one's not bad. So adding land to the yard, playing Goyf makes it a 3/4, but their Soul Scar makes it really awkward. Yeah, I think I'm still gonna do it. It at least makes them point burn, not at us. Blocking is really bad versus actual any burn spell. It would still enable light up the stage here. Yep. Top, yikes. Clothis is just going to be way too slow. So like if I Goyf here, I could like do some mad double block on the Soul Scar Mage, but the odds that works out well are pretty low. I just think this Clothis is going to be way too slow. I'll have the Clings to gain some extra life if I need to. Alright, so I guess the plan now is throw the Goyf in front of the Soul Scar Mage this turn. And then brace for impact. A lot of spells. You got another one? You got another one, I'm dead. Yeah, that counts. Because they can just Lava Dart from the yard now. It's exactly 12. They didn't do it? I mean, you seemed all in enough. Why not just go for it? So now we're going to cling to dust, go to 3, go back up to 5. Sorry, go back up to 6. And then hope the Stormwing isn't going to kill us. Okay. I'm alive. I need a way to kill the Stormwing, though. So I can cling again, survive again. I could start by sacking Peatland. That seems really dangerous, though. What would I even tap with? Don't know. I don't think I'm exactly in an attacking position yet. Let's just play a Spell Bomb and say go. Don't even think I want to play the Verdant. I mean, I guess it's better to have the option. Like, sacking it now would mean that if I draw another Goyf or something, I get to play it. But, does that have me dying to anything additional? So, paying to eat a Soul Scar with the Cling in hand means we go to, 6. With down to 5 off of the fetch. I think I'm just passing. And the opponent just decided to not kill us on the turn where they could have killed us. Alright, we're alive. So I'm for sure sacking Spell Bomb. So let's just lead on that. They don't have any more creatures in their yard to eat. The issue is if I sack the Spell Bomb, I no longer have mana to cling. Sorry, I won't have creatures in the yard to cling. But, they'll be forced to block with their Soul Scar because we're going to be putting them to 2 after eating one of our own things. I may just need the Cling in my yard to eat something else. I mean, I guess I need to add something to the yard. This has me going to 2, back to 5, and then I'm in the same position as before, dead to any spell. So I mean, I guess that means I'm going to sack this. This has me dead to a lava dart or like a burst lightning, but that's okay. I'm going to need to get lucky anyway. Alright, this will make Goyf a 4/5. Ooze. So now do I want to sack Peatland? I think I do. So Clothis triggers. Whoa. I guess second cling doesn't do a whole lot. We're 1 off of killing them. And they're also 1 spell off of killing us. I could use this turn to cling again. I can target my own Tarmogoyf, but that makes my Tarmogoyf in play really, really small. And also means I won't necessarily have something to eat with the Clothis on a follow-up. I mean, I can cling their creature, which will enter the graveyard after they're forced to block. But that means I'm not playing the Bloodbraid, right? So I attack for 4. They have to block. I can pay 4, leave a spell in my yard. So the Clothis will trigger again. Clinging my Goyf. Actually, it takes out everything from the yard, except for the cling. Clothis can then eat my own cling. Put them to 2, me to 6. Sorry, I'll be up to 7 because I'll be eating the Tarmogoyf. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to attack. They can't have a burn spell or else they'd have just killed me when I was tapped out. I don't even have to eat my own cling with the Clothis because I get to target their thing in their yard. So I can use a cling, target your Soul Scar, and then I'll exile. So this is if it hits anything but a land, right? If it was a land, otherwise gain 2. So I'm going to leave the Goyf, I think, because the Ooze can gain life off of it. I've already got my basic forest. Don't think it matters a whole lot. Done. The issue is this makes my Goyf tiny and it's no longer lethal next turn. I mean, I really don't want to die here. But I mean, my Bloodbraid will be lethal with the Clothis, so yeah, I think this is good. All right. Still just dead to a bolt. Bolt would be 3 plus 1 on prowess plus 3 to the face is 7. I'm at 7. Wow, they didn't attack. Alright. So I think I escape with this. Literally. I'm more likely to add instant with Bloodbraid, less likely to add artifact, I think, for purposes of cascading. I should leave the artifact. We did it! Holy crap. So the opponent just like didn't lethal us after apparently trying to go all in, and then we ended up clawing back into it tooth and nail. Jeez. Not exciting, but not really mulliganable in the dark. Whoa! Alright, well, let's take the Burning Inquiry. They were about to double hauling on us. Okay, bug? Come on. I would prefer it if you didn't. Let's get some green sources. I've got basic in my hand, so stomping around probably fine. Here comes the souls. The hard way? I guess not. Got unearthed. Alright, well that can get bolted. And then I don't really think I care about casting the push on it, so I'm not going to save the revolt. I need something like a Goyf real quick. Tracker works too. Take my 2. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's get my trigger in. Play the ooze. Eat this immediately. This attack is pretty weird. I mean, it's probably free, assuming they've got a land, so I don't think I just want to give them free damage. Yep, if I try to eat this in response, they'll just sack a fetch. That can get pushed. I think I'm okay not actually gaining the life to just eat the hollow one now and put a counter on the ooze. I'm gaining the life, but I'm paying the 1. So I get to eat their Lingering Souls and pulse these tokens. That seems strong. I'm short of lethaling them this turn. I'm okay with this too. I guess I should just sack a clue now. If I draw a land, I'm going to want to play it. That doesn't hit hollow one, so we'll just pass. And I should have tapped differently so I can hold up more green. That was stupid of me. Hollow one. Alright, well, Spell Bomb seems good. Cloth is probably on the slow side. Plague Engineer can name Vampire to deal with Bloodghast. Ashiok also seems to be on the slow side. Klings are going to be fine. Really don't like the Ren and 6s here. Liliana seems really, really bad, though. Maybe I want to bring the cloths in just because if I'm able to stabilize at some point. Yeah. Snapcaster. IOK is Inquisition of Kozilek. Sand is slow. If they have fast hollow ones, we've got the Pulse or the Kolion's command to deal with them. We've got turn 2 Goyf, which is one of our better threats. I mean, this hand is pretty spread out in the event that they Burning Inquiry. They're even mulliganing to 5 here. So I guess what's the 2-mana sorcery that's only them? It's like draw 4, discard 3 at random or something. Not Burning Inquiry. Assuming they're about to cast it. I want to think of the name of it before they do, though. Goblin Lore. Yep, Norbut, you got it too. Goblin Lore. Waste not. Alright, we're probably going to have to pulse that at some point. Alright, well now we don't get to pulse the waste knot. Yep, you draw a card. So we get to kill that pretty easily. The question is, how do I want to do it? I think I want to save the Kolaghan's commands. Actually, I don't actually have to save Kolaghan's commands for Hollow One. Terminate also does that. So I suppose it is more mana efficient to just use the Kolaghan's command now. I'll have them discard a card. We want black and we want green. We don't actually have double black cards anymore, so we don't actually need a whole lot of black. All of our spells are black though, so if we're double spelling, we're probably going to need black anyway. So black and red, just get a Blood Crypt here. The issue is if I draw something like a my one Scavenging Ooze, I guess I'll want multiple green, but that's the only thing that's going to make me want multiple green. So Blood Crypt seems fine here. You discard 2 to that. There goes a Hollow One, which makes Glyph quite big. Crunch. I could Plague Engineer to name Zombie. It's possible I just want to get the Ren and 6 down. It could kill the opponent by just pinging him a few times. We'll still get to hold up a Terminate. I'll plus this once, and then I'll use the other activations to just minus. They've conceded. So another day, another 3-2. Alright, so let's do the wrap up. I think I'm pretty okay not playing the second copy of Kolaghan's command. There was, however, one time where I top decked the Kolaghan's command and it was fantastic, and then there was also another game where I kind of got Liliana of the Veil flooded. I wasn't flooded on Liliana's in the sense that I just had too many and I couldn't discard them fast enough. I just drew the 4th one and wasn't able to even get one to stick. So it wasn't bad that I had multiples, but just none of them were resolving. Another league tonight? I don't think so. I'm already exhausted, but let me finish up this wrap up and then I'll think about it a little bit more. The 2 Klings were still fine. I found myself drawing both Klings very often, which was a little on the annoying side, but I mean I still think 2 is a pretty solid number there. Still like the split of 3 push, 3 bolts. We saw versus the Grixis Shadow opponent that I was pretty happy that I had a second copy of Fatal Push in hand as opposed to maybe it being a Lightning Bolt. The tracker stood out again. It was probably my best threat after the Tarmogoyf, even surpassing the Bloodbraid, which I thought was surprising. But the card generation that it's capable of is pretty great, and it was in theory going to be very strong versus our Jeskai Yorion opponent, but we just had mana issues back-to-back games and kind of lost there. I'm happy-ish with the sideboard. We never had the ability to boil anyone. We just never saw it. The Ashioks were strong. I found that... Ooh, there's Moto's lagging here. I found that there were a few matchups where I boarded in 2 Ashioks and not the 3rd one, namely against the Jeskai opponent, where you want it, but not as a mill plan. You never ever want to see multiples. It's not super important that you have the first one, you're playing against Amulet Titan or something. So it's possible that 3rd Ashiok just really isn't required, and that I can switch it for something else. I had switched it for the Pillage, And because I just felt like I didn't really need another piece of land hate, and we tend to be pretty okay versus the artifact decks anyway, excluding Eldrazi-tron. We saw a Lantern control opponent where we would have wanted the Alpine Moon, not the Alpine Moon, the Pillage, but the Ashiok also very good versus Lantern control. So for a sideboard card that we lost, we just ended up gaining another one. But that said, I did find myself boarding in 2 and not 3. I just didn't want to overboard onto it a lot of the time. So I think I'm going to end up taking this other Ashiok back out. But all things considered, I like my change of up to 4 Lilianas down to 1 Kolaghan's Command. I've been seeing lots of people playing just 1 lately. And I gotta say, I'm starting to agree with it. A few months ago, I was actually playing a full set because the card was just insanely positioned. But now everyone's removal is either Fatal Push or Path to Exile based, and Kolaghan's Command really only good against half of that. And then even against the Uro decks, they don't even plan on killing creatures at all. They just plan on making their Uro bigger than yours, bigger than your own creature. So Kolaghan's Command not even that great there. See, I think one of those is probably fine. The Terminates have still been great. Still hasn't been a time where there was a non-creature permanent where I wanted to kill and I had Terminate in my hand instead of a trophy or a decay. So still really liking the decision to Terminate over the other 2 options, especially versus the Grixis Shadow opponent that we saw. And yeah, that's about it. I already talked about the 3-3 split between Push and Bolt. Still like the 6 1-mana hand disruption spells. I did have mana issues in at least 1 game in 3 of the matches, which felt really, really bad. But the mana issues were diverse in that some of them I just got ridiculously flooded, and then some of them, more than one of them, I kept a 2-lander with like a handful of castables, and I just never hit another land. Was never able to double spell. Was never able to cast a 3-drop like a Liliana or a Tracker. So I mean, I kind of would like to attribute the 2 losses to having at least 1 or 2 unlucky games in each of them. But I mean, aside from that, there's still probably something I could have done differently to have a better chance. So that's going to be it for this league. I'm going to wrap up the recording there. If you are watching this currently on YouTube and you want to catch my recording sessions live, you can do so on Twitch at Junderdome, and you can find the link to that channel in the description of the video you are currently watching. And if you are currently watching on Twitch and you want to watch all of my pre-recorded videos already on YouTube, you can do so, and you will find the link to my YouTube channel in the biography of the page you are currently on. So until next time, have a good one, and see ya.